If you're looking to perform Umrah or simply visit Saudi, then you need a visa. Now for most people, you can get a tourist visa. However, for those in the UK and that hold a UK passport, then you can apply for an electronic visa waiver. Now this is not only cheaper, but has far less restrictions than the main tourist visa. Now I've already done a video on how to apply for an adult's electronic visa waiver. However, one of the most common questions asked with that video was, how do you apply for a child? Now for children, it's not as straightforward as one might think it would be. Therefore, I've made this video on how to apply for a child. Now one of the main difficulties is simply finding the correct website. You'll no doubt be pushed by certain websites to head to the standard tourism website, but unfortunately the electronic visa waiver isn't available here. What you want to do instead is head to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website, or MOFA. However, even then it's not quite as straightforward. It can eventually be found through the Visit Saudi website. However, to make everyone's life easier, like my other video, I'll leave a direct link below. Once on the website, click on the link for electronic visa waiver. Log in as normal, assuming you've registered already. Now the first step is to apply for an adult's visa. Now I'm not going to go over what you need to do here for an adult's visa, as I'll assume you've watched my previous video and have already successfully applied for it. You only need one initial adult's visa in order to start applying for a child's visa. Assuming you have the adult's visa, make a note of the application number as you'll need it later. If you're struggling to find the email or it simply hasn't arrived, you can retrieve your successful application number from this page. This will show all your applications that you've ever made under your account, and the application number will be on the left hand side first column. There is another method to get a copy of your visa which many don't know about. From the login page, click the visa platform link at the top left. Here you'll be taken to the home page, which will have a query link. You can then enter your application number to get your visa. Now you're ready to apply for a child's visa. The form is opened the same way and is actually very similar to a standard adult's visa. Complete the required fields, including your child's passport details. One of the questions asked in the previous video is, where do you enter the adult's details? Well, you'll notice that as soon as you enter the child's date of birth, you get new fields appear. These new fields include the dependent's application number and the dependent's passport number. Notice how you have to exclude the preceding E found in the application number and just enter the numbers only. Now just to be clear, when I say dependent, I mean the adult, and more specifically an adult with a successful visa application, which hopefully you would have noted already. You'll need to select the relationship of the adult to the child. In this example, it's the father. It's a bit odd that they ask for occupation for a child, so for this field, enter student. Continue with the rest of the form as normal. One note about the port of entry is that make sure you select the right airport. For this, you might need to Google the full airport name. In this example for Jeddah Airport, you'd select King Abdulaziz International Airport. Once you've filled the form, the only part remaining is the payment, which is the same as an adult's visa. After this, you should pretty much receive the visa instantly in your email inbox. You can also access the visa through the query method I showed you earlier. Hopefully that's been of some help when it comes to applying for an electronic visa waiver for a child. If it has been, then do pass this on to family and friends that might be thinking of visiting Saudi for either Umrah or even a simple tourist visit. And as always, if you've got any questions, then leave it in the comments below.